Alright everybody, so there is a new grading company out there for sports cards that is taking the sports card hobby by storm. It is the HGA hybrid grading approach, and what differentiates them more than anything, I think would probably be their time frame. So they guarantee the time frames for return to you. Their big thing right here, as you can see, where 10 days means 10 days. The other big thing that they offer that none of the other guys offer are player matched or card matched color labels. So you get to choose basically the color of your labels. You can choose a neutral label, you can choose a team match color, or you can choose a card match color. So for instance, if you have a Patrick Mahomes blue prism, you might want the blue label as opposed to the red label, or you might want the red label because it matches his jersey. So it's totally up to you, or you could have the neutral label. Those are some options that they give, and you kind of get a sample right here of the different types of labels and what they look like here. So they kind of have the two-tone colors, a little busy, but all in all pretty cool looking labels. It reminds me a lot of Beckett because they have the you know they do have the subgrades, and I think that they're pretty tough on the grading. So just from what I've seen out there, a 9.5 is kind of like a Beckett 9.5. That's kind of their gem. Yeah, that's their gem mint grade is that 9.5. They do give 10s if it's totally pristine. I don't know what they call their 10, if it's pristine or something similar.
I was getting ready to post this, and then I came across an actual 10 on the HGA slabs. So this is the first ever 10. It's a Louis Robert Topps Chrome Flawless. As you can tell, the labels are a lot different. It's got the big flawless shininess to it. Very interesting, very different.
But I might have a sample on here somewhere. But yeah, so pretty tough grades, all in all from what I've seen. But they do have the subgrades, which is something pretty cool. And I think the color matched labels are pretty awesome. But more importantly than anything, I think where they're going to try to corner the market is the turnaround times, where 10 days mean 10 days, 20 days means 20 days. So if they can hold true to that, that could be really beneficial to them and to investors that want a guaranteed turnaround time. If they put 30 days, they're going to get their cards back in 30 days. They're not going to wait 7 months. Whereas PSA, you just don't know. So yeah, that's this is their website. This is kind of how it looks. A little bit more information about them. It's going to go down here to the pricing structure. So they have 10, 30, and 60 days. Prices are pretty high comparatively. I mean, they're a brand new company that just came out. I believe last month was when they first fired it up at the start of the year. And they are more expensive than PSA. They would argue, well, you get your cards back sooner. And that's true, but I think being a new company to the market, it's tough to demand that kind of price. But their slabs are selling for pretty good top dollar, right around PSA. Sometimes I have seen there is something going around. I'll try to drop it right here. It's a Louis Robert. There is a PSA 10 slab of Louis Robert, and it went for $142.50 for the PSA 10. That's just your basic Topps flagship PSA 10 on that Series 2 Louis Robert. So $142 for it, $201 for the 9.5 HGA slab. And I don't know if this is considered the neutral or if that's jersey match. It looks like it's probably jersey match. More than anything, but 9.5, so it does get the gem mint grade, similar to what you would expect from a PSA 10. I mean, that's just like Beckett 9.5 being compared to PSA 10. Interesting that it went for more. I understand it going for close, but more seems a bit outlandish. So yeah, $201. I mean, assuming that's legit, and it's 27 bids for that HGA slab, 23 on the Luis Robert PSA 10 slab, and we're talking about an over $50, almost $60 difference in price on the resale market. So, as far as submitting, the turnaround $55. That's about what PSA is for a 10-day. And you can drop it down if you're submitting bulk orders. So if 20 to 49 cards or 50 plus cards, you can get it all the way down to $45 a card. So submitting less than 20 cards is going to be pretty expensive. But if you're submitting over 50 especially, that can really start to help out. Basically $10 less per card. It's a big break. Then you have the 30-day that the 35, 31, 27 structure. All those seem to be more than the than PSA's prices. Now PSA's is a 20-day, and their prices for 20-day are lower than that, but they're not guaranteed. And so their 20-day prices run 4 to 7 months turnaround time. This is in 1 month. You're going to get your card back. So yeah, that's pretty enticing, especially if you're going to submit a huge bulk order. The only question is, what kind of grading, how strict are they? What kind of grade can you expect? I think a lot of investors and people that have been submitting cards have become more accustomed to, they kind of know it's going to fetch a 9 or a 10 in PSA grades. I don't know that a lot of people have figured out the HGA thought process there. And part of their big thing is they use AI to grade a lot, if not all, of the card. I know they use that for centering. I think they still have a eyes-on approach, which, that's the hybrid and the hybrid grading approach. So they kind of use AI and individual graders. But that also will help them with their turnaround times. I think PSA is going to go to something similar using AI in the future, especially once the big deal is all finalized and everything else. I think in the next 5 years you're going to see a lot of changes in PSA's grading, probably some increased prices, and probably a lot more use of AI for that as well. And then of course they have the best value, the 60-day, $20 per card period, flat rate across regardless of how many that you submit. So that's a little bit about that. I'll show you kind of, I did some mock orders here just to kind of see. Actually, this is just a repeat. Okay, so again, they do limit their submissions every week to ensure the turnaround times. So they'll reset Friday at 9. So at that point, you get your orders put in and ship them off to HGA, so that way they can get started on them. So that's a little bit about the new guy in the hobby. A lot of people starting to use these, seeing these pop up on eBay already. It'll be interesting to see if they maintain the value. As a, just a curiosity, I did throw something up on Twitter just to kind of gauge the thoughts of the hobby. So I did put out a poll whether people thought that these were good looking slabs or bad, and I got a 64% said that these were fire, said that they liked these cards, that they liked the slabs. So this is not the only company to start making waves and start doing sports card grading in the last couple of months. There's been some others. I think CSG or I think that's it. CGC, CS. HG has entered the sports card. They're used to grading Pokemon and other things, and now they're opening up for sports cards. I just don't like the slabs that much. Um, I think the labels are too chunky. I think they're kind of ugly. And I just don't see that really gaining a huge market share. Um, HGA, I don't know though. I think that those could very well, um, take over and be that, fighting for that third dog in the hunt, that third company that people go to, as opposed to SGC, maybe opposed to Beckett. They could very easily make it to that second rung. I don't know if they'll ever overtake PSA as the industry standard, but I do think PSA has left the door cracked for somebody to bust it down and come in and really change up the hobby. With that one example of the Louis Robert, and I'm assuming since it's a bid purchase that it's somewhat legit. I don't know if that person just got overly excited with the Louis Robert HGA graded card or what, but I mean, they look like they're the same cards. One's graded a PSA 10, one's graded HGA 9.5. You would think the 10 would always sell higher than that, but it didn't. I don't know if that's kind of a one-off thing. I don't know that that's going to maintain long term. I do think that PSA is probably going to get a handle on their turnaround times, and I think they're going to add in some AI, and especially once all that happens, it's going to be tough to continue to send cards to other companies. But there's still going to be the people that love the Beckett slabs, that like them more than the PSA. I think that HGA can really gain some market share, just because so many people are fed up with the long wait times of all. Beckett, PSA, SGC, they're all huge wait times, and Beckett just increased their prices. Those are going to be rolling out this month too, so just they're competitively priced. I think with PSA, BGS, SGC. I think if they can maintain their quality and people can get a gauge on what the um, sales price are gonna be for these slabs, then sure, I see that this could turn out to be something interesting. I think I'm gonna probably submit a couple to HGA. The only problem I have or concern I have is that to get that 10, you're gonna have to submit basically a flawless card. So that's going to be tough to get. So we're going to have to dig around and try to find some good looking cards to submit to HGA and try to get that 10, at least get a 9.5, and see how cool those labels look in person. Got a couple of samples here for you. Do have a Zion card. This one got a 9, so that's their mint, just like the other companies. And then there something did come out this week too. So they did have an issue. They had a card that was submitted. This is a Clyde Edwards-Helaire rated rookie that was submitted, graded, and sent back to the customer, and it has Patrick Mahomes as the. Now that's received a 9.5. Obviously, it's not Patrick Mahomes, and obviously, it's a mess up. I assume they're going to fix that pretty quickly. But yeah, I don't know how that gets out on a brand new company that's probably overly concerned on quality control. But it did. So that snuck out there, and then we'll see if there's any other screw ups that come forward. There are mislabeled things in every grading company, so that alone doesn't concern me with HGA. That it happens so soon, maybe a little bit, but they're grading thousands and thousands of cards. I've seen, I think it was PSA had slabbed a card backwards. Actually, the back of the card was where the front of the slab and the label and everything was. I've seen mislabeled stuff from PSA, from BGS, from SGC. wrong parallels, wrong names, wrong years, and everything. So that's not unique to HGA. I assume it's a drop down thing, or a missed data entry point or something like that. Those things happen, and they're gonna happen. But if they can limit those with quality control, then that'll be for the best. But like I said, PSA is going to have those, BGS is going to have those, and HGA is going to have those. All in all, I'm not sure about HGA long term, or even short term for that matter. I do like the labels. I like the slabs. I think they're cool. I think it's interesting. I hate that it's, 10s aren't as common from a person that loves to get 10s, just like everybody does. I think in the long term, PSA is probably going to maintain the 800-pound gorilla, but it'll be interesting to watch this company grow and see if they corner the market on some of these others, and bully anybody out, or if it's is the market big enough to sustain 4 companies. I think it is, but people like stuff that they can count on. And if they know they can self-grade and screen the card and send it and likely get a PSA 10, at worst a PSA 9, then, and they know within a $10 range of what those cards are going for at a PSA 10 or PSA 9, they can budget for that accordingly. So it's just gonna, when these HGA slabs are flooding into the market more often, and there's a lot more eBay sales, and they're instituted into some of these other tracking tools like Card Ladder and everything else, then that's when we'll see if these have a staying power in the industry. But I think good things are ahead for HGA. I'll let you know if I do any submissions through them. Here's kind of what we're looking at, just so you know, when you go through the process. You're going to go through, add cards. So let's say we're going to do a Panini, and we'll do a Prism, and we'll do 2019-2020, and we'll do Zion Williamson. And card number is going to be 248. And variation blue. Better yet, green. It's a better contrasting color. So green variation, $200 value. And do you want to match the card so that the label is green? Or do you want to match the team so that the label matches the jersey color more, which would be more of a kind of blue match there. So totally up to you what you think looks better. You saw the Zion blue, the blue on blue from before. Now that's matching both the jersey and the card color. We'll say let's match the card. You can also choose that neutral. You add the quantity. Let's do 2 of them. Add. Boom. Now you're off and running. So that's how you submit them through HGA. I'll let you know if we decide to do a submission and how those come back. Let me know if you think we should do an HGA submission, if you'd be interested in that, and maybe we'll throw some over to the hybrid grading approach. Till next time, guys, thanks for checking it out. Drop in the comments whether you want us to submit an HGA submission and whether you like the slabs or not. Do you like those labels? Do you like the color match? What are your thoughts? Smash that like button. Make sure to subscribe for more content. Thanks, everybody. See you next time.